Welcome to Beyond the Shadows podcast, hosted by Honda Souls Paranormal. It is August 20th, episode 29. Once again, we're having some weird technical difficulties again.
I think it might be just StreamYard at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who to go through or what other than StreamYard. So
Yeah.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's all good. I don't have any issues when we're on our doing this side of the podcast, but as soon as I don't have any trouble making the podcast, I don't have any trouble doing that. It's like as soon as I go to hit our intro and then go hit live, it's like it acts up. It's so weird.
Then it has to be StreamYard.
Yeah, because I have no issue right now. And I had no issue when we were sitting here in the room before. So I have no idea.
Yeah, as soon as you hit that intro, it started lagging and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I'm awful dark over here tonight. I don't understand why.
Well, then again, the light did break.
Is that better?
Yeah, there you go.
Is that a little better now?
Yeah, it's a little better.
Right. I don't have I can't have the big screen up.
No. Once you get a new light, you can. But
got new lights for my shelves there. One fell down apparently. So I need to do that on. You want to intro and say hi to everybody?
Yeah. Let's see. Gina said howdy howdy. She said Lauren is at Target and
What's
says
up?
she'll pop in when she can. Brendan said hello. Jeannie.
What's up, Brendan? Brendan, you got two tickets. I was wanted to ask. Oh, never mind. Go on.
Go ahead.
Go on. No, go on. Finish.
Jeannie said happy spooky Tuesday. Bella said hi. And then Bella said hi. I think that's the same Bella. One's just Bella and then one's Bella Luna Investigations. So I don't know if she had logged into a different account.
No, I think they're two different Bellas. Bella Luna is
I know Bella
one's
Luna
her mom,
is.
but I'm not sure. Yeah, I think we have two Bellas watching us now. Because I think last week there was a Bella on there and I clicked on it and it was a different person. So Bella, if you're the same person, just say yes or no. Brandon, you bought 2 tickets. Are you bringing a guest with you at Randolph County? I'm asking for a friend.
Susan also said, hey. Hello, Susan.
What's up, Susan?
What's up?
You know who's not on here?
Who?
Kathy.
Oh. She's slacking. Dang it.
CJ. Yeah, CJ's not on here.
There we go.
Are you all set there?
Tanya and Lee said hello. Hello.
Tanya Lee, would that be from? I think that was from this weekend. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
It was a long
this weekend we were at. Yeah, it was a long weekend. Speaking of which, we were at McInteer Villa and Atchison, Kansas, and we were also at Glore Psychiatric Museum.
Side note, Bella did say, nope, they're both me. I forgot to log into my other account. Well.
Oh, so they're both Bella's. Okay. Yeah, that's what it looks like. We have more Bella.
Yeah, Brandon said I paid for mine and Lauren's ticket. Okay. And then Tanya said, it's your niece. Hello. Oh, that's.
Oh. I can't see the picture. Sorry, Tanya. Your uncle's
Hello.
blind.
Uh,
Your uncle's blind, so I can't see the picture. Nice to have you on. Thank you for saying hi.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this weekend we were at McInteer Villa in Atchison, Kansas, and we were at Glore Psychiatric Museum in St. Joe.
Yes.
We had some great guests. Bella Luna was with us there. She was with us and
Mm-hmm.
stuff at both events and both nights. We got some really good. McInteer was very active for.
Yeah.
I would just say more active than what we've experienced there before. It was definitely a little amped up there. I don't know if Stephanie did that before she left or what.
Yeah. No, it was
Or
compared to like that was our third time being there. Um, it was definitely different, and and now I know what she was meaning by last week when she was like, the only way I could describe it is off because it was. It felt like a whole new place that we were investigating. It didn't feel like a place that we were going back to, um, activity wise and like feeling wise.
yeah, it was definitely different. Definitely different. Um, and stuff like that. So yeah, we drove up Friday. Traffic was atrocious Friday afternoon and stuff, and
Yeah,
then
took us a while to get up there, more than normal.
yeah, and then we stopped in at the place first to plug in some equipment and stuff before we had to go get snacks and soda and stuff for the night and that. So and then we had to check into our B&B,
Yes,
which was
which
a
was
lovely
which was literally well, like
country house
okay. First of all, I had
in the
no
middle of the
idea going
country.
in. I had no idea what to expect because I didn't never looked at the Airbnb or anything. And I'm telling him directions. I'm like, okay. And he goes, wait, wait, wait. You gotta read this lady's comment that she put on the thing of how to get there. And I'm like, okay. And I'm reading it, and it's like, do not take this road because you'll get stuck from the mud. I'm like, where are you taking? Where's this Airbnb? And kid you not, it is in the middle of nowhere, a farmhouse, and we're in someone's basement.
Yep. She said park in the garage and then park on the slab behind the garage. Come through the
Yep.
basement, and your room is on the other side of the basement.
Yep. And it was.
And yes, it was
Which I
definitely on the other side. You opened the
which
door,
I
and it was a
mean,
living room, 2 beds, a kitchen, bathroom.
as a paranormal investigator, you don't really have to be picky, especially if you're gonna like run your events and you have to stay there till a certain time. Um, you're not picky about where you stay because you're so tired by the end of the night that you're like, I just want a bed. If that, just give me somewhere to sleep. But it was nice.
Yeah, yeah, it was. It was nice. It was nice and comfortable. She let us stay till 2 o'clock, so we got some extra sleep for Saturday night and stuff. But yeah, we dropped and went and went to Walmart, and then bought some went and got our stuff, and then we head over to the building. We pull up, and of course that's Bella and Brandy out there front taking pictures out in front of the building and stuff. So we got loaded up, and everybody came in. Uh,
Yeah.
and then we had a small group on Friday. We had a much larger group on Saturday. So
Yeah.
you're awful quiet over there. You're not even coming in. You're just, yeah, yeah. What's going on over there?
I'm not. I'm letting you speak. I comment. I'm talking.
Well, you're delayed.
Oh, I'm like, I was
You're just a
talking
chatty
about
Cathy over there.
I am. I was talking. I just talked. And but yeah, no. So we dropped off the
Just I
stuff.
am. I just talked.
Um, so we basically so we're going in, we're setting up our stuff, and it was weird because I didn't know that many doors closed in the villa because Stephanie had them all like halfway opened, and I was like, I didn't realize there was that many doors that closed in that. It was so weird. Like every room was closed off by a door. Um, so we got everyone in, and we were going through the rules. Everything was good. Um, and we decided
And we
that
weren't splitting up. We were going.
we decided that we were going to do 2 rotations in one large group because there was 10 people, correct?
Yes, there was 10. Yes.
So we didn't want to like there was no reason for us to split in the groups and have 5 people because it's just better in a bigger group. So we decided that we were going to do a little tour before we did the investigate or we decided to do the tour before we did rotations. You My dad was leading and I was caboosing. I'm gonna tell you right now, caboosing was a little creepy.
Caboosing. Like I just said, I was caboosing.
I was caboosing.
Yeah. So we stayed into like a big group and stuff. So we walked to the building, and man, the attic was hot. It was very hot in the attic.
God, it was a sauna.
Yeah. It's so much different because the last 2 times we've been there, those mirrors were in the corner of the attic, and the attic looks so different and so empty without those mirrors being up there. But yeah, of course, everybody said something about the creepy family on the wall. Somebody's like, "Ooh, whose family is that?" We're like, "Oh, it's
The 2
Stephanie's."
kids.
Oh,
They're like,
the 3
oh, that's a
kids out there.
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 3 kids. Everyone's like, that's a creepy picture. We're like, that's Stephanie's family. They're like, like it's all right.
Now I
She
know
makes
how
it.
Stephanie feels like when she tells that to people.
It's fun. It's a fun thing to tell people. Like, yeah, that's my family. And they're like, oh, wait. No, we forgot. We couldn't even. I was having trouble getting in the building. Let's not forget that. Stephanie gave us the code when we were going in there to drop off our stuff, and I was like struggling to get the door open. And I don't know if it like alarmed Stephanie on her phone or if she was got a motion censored on the cameras, but she's like, "Did I?" She's like, "Are you guys okay? Can you not open up the door?"
So, you guys trying to get in the building? We were like, "Yeah, we're trying to get in." She's like, "Did you get it open?" I was like, "Yeah, I finally got it open." And she was like, "Oh, because I kind of have to hit the door really hard. It kind of jams up there
Yeah.
and stuff, and you have to pull the door toward you so the lock can engage and
Yeah.
stuff because it struggles to unlock if you don't pull it, and then you gotta kind of kick it. She's like, "You gotta kick it." I was like, "I'm not kicking your door."
I know.
Well,
Well,
she
and
had called me
then
on the phone. She was like,
go ahead, sorry.
"No," I was just saying she called me on the phone.
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, and then the second time when we were trying to get back in after we had left and got the things we needed, we were coming back for the event. My dad's like, just kick open the door. I'm like, oh my God. So I finally put like some pressure on it and I kind of like nudged the door open. It swung open. I was like, oh gosh. It's like, I'm going to break Stephanie's door. I was so scared about that door. I was going to break it. Oh, man.
Yeah, but other than your door problems, you got everything else. We set up everything. We started our rotations in the basement. We did the fastened box downstairs, in the doctor's room there, and then got some good stuff there. And we did some Estes too, right? Yeah, we did Estes down there too,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and stuff. And did some really good got some stuff. We talked to Jack because Jack was down there. Of course, Jack is the little Charlie Dow they call. His name is Jack.
Yes.
Uh, he said we were down there, and then we got some stuff about some women and everything. So Stephanie says there's no documentations, but they think that there were some illegal medical procedures that were done downstairs in that basement at the time. So, and you get some Estes stuff saying weird stuff like
Yeah.
burned, buried, hurt. Some
Pain.
women, I think all the women that night felt pain in their groin in area and
Oh, yeah. I
in their
totally forgot
stomach.
about that. Yeah. We were all like, I had said, I
Yeah.
was like, my
Oh,
stomach hurts. I was like, it was like twisting. I was like, it's not like stomach ache or anything. It was just like, it hurt. Like the insides hurt. It was weird. But
yeah. So, yeah, that was kind of weird on that one. So,
yeah, like she said, there's like no documentations. But I mean, like, and I also mentioned too, like, it could be a thing too of that energy or that um, manifestation of that story could, and that's why you still get those phasm box interactions with it because that story has now created its own energy almost. Um, so who knows that there actually was, or if it's just the energy down there. Who knows?
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, who knows? I mean, and then like we didn't get nothing that time. We got some stuff that time, but then we went upstairs and did trigger objects up in the second floor where everybody was in the hallway and stuff. And we put the tripwire down by the kids' room. We had some REM pods in each of the library and in the other bedroom with a big canopy bed and stuff like that. And then we put a REM pod down at the end of the hallway and stuff. And we had the light go off a couple times. The tripwire, like the kids were running up and down the hallway there.
Mm-hmm.
The light. I don't know if you're froze or what. I'm talking. You're just like, look. I don't know what you're doing over there or what's going on with your computer.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, I can't. What is going on over there?
Nothing. I'm just sitting here listening.
Oh, well, I'm trying to talk to you, and
I am.
but anyway, the tripwire was going on and down the hallway and stuff, and like the kids were running up and down the hallway and stuff like that. So that was really cool.
Yeah. And so if you've ever been to McInteer Villa, Stephanie has these like balloons, and some of them glow in the dark, some of them don't, some of them don't. But the previous 2 times that we haven't been there, I really haven't like interacted with those. But we had a balloon. I don't know if someone put the balloon right there or if it was just right there. But someone there was a balloon right next to the tripwire. And so it was like as soon like the tripwire would go off, like the 3 ones next to the balloon, and then the balloon would start going like back and forth, like really hard, like moving more, and then it would slow down, and then the tripwire would go off, and the balloon would move more. And that was really cool. And then I know Bella later in the night was also getting interaction with, I believe, was a little kid who was playing with the balloon as well. So that was really cool when we were doing our rotations up there, seeing the interaction with the tripwire and the balloon, and that was really, really cool.
Yeah, I'd asked that question of we were all standing there. I said, what happens if that balloon was to float up in the air, eye level, and then float down the hallway? And I said, what would everybody do? And everybody's like, run. That's like, so we know what everybody's fight and flight is. Flight or fight. Everybody's running down the hallway. That balloon starts floating in the air.
I'm beating everyone down there, though. That's for dang sure.
Yeah.
I'm pushing everyone out of the way and going down. Nicole's seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
My fight or flight, I
Madison's
fight.
Gonna take
My legs
off and run.
go.
Yeah.
They do.
I feel sorry for anybody that's in front of her.
Hey, just you should just make way for me. If you don't want to get hurt, just make way for me.
So that we only had like 2 rotations, and I wanted to give everybody a chance to get out, and because I know everybody likes to free roam and do their own thing and stuff like that. So we try to make the rotations as quick as possible, so that way, especially with that small group and stuff. So we sent everybody on their way. I think everybody just kind of split up and went their own ways.
Yeah,
That looked like they're trying to hurt
a little bit.
and everything, and we were trying to eat dinner. And
Yeah, I was trying to eat my salad.
and stuff, and I ended up selling the Raggedy Ann REM pod, the Boo Bear, the Boo Pal, and the Slimer. They both liked it. Each person bought one of those, and we sold I think a REM pod too. I think.
Yes.
No, we didn't sell a REM pod that night. We only had 2. We only took 2 with us. Poor ladies. We wanted a T-shirt, and we didn't have the right sizes of our T-shirts. Which next week, everybody pay attention. Next week, we made I know this is kind of in the middle of it, but we did make our 500 subscribers. Yay!
Yay! Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah. Yeah, too bad I don't have a soundboard. Madison hasn't made that flyer yet either, so she was supposed to. But we did 500 subscribers on our YouTube, so we will be giving away a shirt next week. So pay attention, watch. You have to be on the watch to get the T-shirt and everything. But yeah, we sent everybody out. We were sitting in the dining room. We were chilling for a while. Bella and her mom went into the living room there and stuff, and then next thing you know, I was being beckoned.
I was
Bella's
eating my
mom
salad.
had said that
you were being beckoned.
Yeah. Bella's mom said that Bella was doing Estes, and there was a male and a female kept asking me, or like she said, they were like peeking through the door there watching me, and they're like, the man in all black and stuff. So Bella's mom was like, Brandy was like, hey, I think they want to talk to you. So I was like, okay. So I came in there, and Bella was doing Estes, and Madison walked in. Now Bella was blindfolded; she didn't know.
Well, because
and
someone
was buying something, and you need to change.
So I was like, I'm gonna have to squeeze in because he has his wallet. So I like opened up the door, and I got halfway into the room, and Bella goes, Maddie, and I was like, I just paused. I was like, I like turned over to her, and she's full blindfolded, full headphones, everything, and I'm like, because I've never had my name said on the FASO box or somebody doing Estes ever say my name, and I was like, I look at Brandy, I look at you, and everyone's just staring at me. I'm like, I need that change. I'm like, I'll be back.
And then she said your name again as you were leaving. She was like, Madison, and I didn't. So it said your name twice.
I didn't hear the second time.
And then she didn't even know. And the funny thing about it is that Bella didn't even know you were in the room.
No, she had no idea.
Because she was already blindfolded. Yeah, so she was already blindfolded and stuff. So that interaction of that whole Estes thing, when Bella gets it up on video, everybody should check it out. She usually shares it with Haunted Souls Paranormal. But that was a good Estes, man. I mean, we played Knock Knock. So that's our new thing, is like be like, knock knock. And she said multiple times, who's there?
Who's there? Yep.
Yep. And then I didn't even say it the one time I walked over to the door and just knocked on the front door. And she was like, who's there? So they were very interacting. And then I was like, then I saw them standing in front of the door because I saw a shadow. And I was like, "Is that you at the door?" And she was like, she said, "He can see us." And it was like, "Okay, yeah, I can see you. I saw you move. I saw you in front of the door there. Can you do it again?" And she said something like the man and the woman were talking to each other.
Yeah, because
And Bella even
because when
said that.
because when she took her headphones off, she's like, there was a man and a woman standing in front of the door, and she was like, and it was like they were talking to each other. She goes, and it was like they were responding in the way of like the man would respond to you guys, and then the wife would be like, well, why are you talking? Why do you think that's funny? Like,
Yeah, she said the man was always laughing at the joke, like laughing, and the woman
yeah,
was upset about him laughing
yeah.
and stuff. But it was really good. We did duck. We played. That's like, can we do play duck, duck, goose? And we all were like saying duck. Like I'd say duck, and then Maddie say duck. See if you'd say goose. And then she was like duck. I think the second time around, she was like duck. I was like, nope, we wanted goose, but we'll take duck. And it just was very smart, intelligent answers
Yes.
to that whole Estes in that room and stuff, and stuff like
Well,
that.
and
So it
I
was
kept
really, really
asking,
cool.
too, like if it was the spirit that we saw that saw us before, because again, it had mentioned you saying the man in black, and then it was Brandy was telling me that it was also mentioning the girl with him, um, meeting me is what she was thinking. And then I was like, well, the only spirit that could possibly know who we are is the one that saw us in that same window that we caught on video looking in. And I had
Oh
asked,
yeah, so when we did that,
yeah, when we were doing that video, and I had asked, I was like, are you the same one that saw us before in the window? And they were like, yeah. I was like, that's so something's,
yeah, that was the video that we did when we were doing the podcast, and Zach got done, and he was just getting the camera set, and he caught the shadow peeking around out that door, looking at us
yeah,
and stuff. So it probably was. Maybe they hang out there. Maybe those are the two that hang out there. It was kind of, it was cool. Any
yeah.
comments there, Manny? I mean, there's a bunch of comments.
Um,
I just see different circles.
yeah. Let's see. And Kathy said, hey, y'all.
Oh,
Hello,
she was
hello.
a little bit late there.
Brandon said, I'm
Hello.
excited about Randolph. Um, will be my first official investigation. Nice. I'm excited too. It's gonna be really
Awesome.
fun. Carl said hello. Hello, hello.
Hey, what's up, Carl?
Brandy said hey. Hello,
What's going
hello.
on, Brandy?
Carl
She
said if I had the
recuperating for over the
money,
weekend.
Carl said if I had the money, I would have come up. I live 40 minutes from there. Ah, that'd have been nice. Cool.
Yes.
Bill of Rights Network says hello.
What's going on?
Roger
Carl,
said
ain't
what's
that the
up,
same thing?
people.
What's going on, Roger?
Um,
Roger's from, you know where Roger's from, right?
yes,
Roger's from
yes,
Scared City.
yes.
Yes. Mr.
Um,
Hee Hee.
hee hee. She hee and all
Hee
up in there.
Hee. He was.
Bill Red said I've been busy laser engraving dog tags for Haya Nation. Nice, nice. Heather
Nice.
Julian
I
said
saw him
howdy.
advertise those. What's up, Heather?
Um, Jesse said hi ho everyone.
What's going on, Jess?
Lauren said made it. Hi everyone. Hello.
Buy anything good at Target?
Bill Red said getting ready for my other podcast. That's why he switched probably accounts.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Bella said,
I
"I'm
think
very
I think
excited."
he's on. I think he's on with. Go on.
Go ahead.
I think he goes on with Phoenix tonight. The lady we met in Arkansas, the blonde lady, short blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
I think he goes on. I think they do Tuesday nights. I think that's Phoenix and him do that show on Tuesdays.
Nice. Nice. Bella said, "I'm very excited to rewatch that video from that night in the living room." Yeah, that's a good one. That's gonna be. I'm excited to see the video that comes out.
Yeah, uh, that's really that was really good. That Estes method in that living room was really good. Uh, and then I finally got to go eat my dinner since you were already done eating yours. Everybody kind of went out and everything and left me and Maddie. The one couple sat and talked with us.
Yeah.
Uh, and they both worked in what, Fulton prison?
Yep.
The
Mhm.
prison in Fulton, I think they said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told them about MSP and they took off. They both looked at their calendar and put off work off, took off days off their calendar. So
Yeah, no, it was
hopefully we
really
see them at
funny.
MSP.
Yeah. The lady was like, uh, she said she might not be able to because she's already scheduled and his is apparently pending. And he's like, "It's pending. I can still do it." So it was really funny.
She was already off though. I believe she said she was already off work. He was not.
No,
So he was like, that's why he was saying it was pending, I think.
no, she said she had
Oh,
already
I don't know.
been
Anyway,
off, and so, um, she said that she's already scheduled for that, and then he was like, his is pending, so he's like, I can go.
so yeah, there was a. It was nice too because I think one of the ladies, two of the ladies that were from GHU guests, that were prior GHU guests, so they had came and she had actually taken pictures and made a Facebook post saying that they really enjoyed our group and stuff, and that they should see us again in a future thing. So which is cool. Which was Hannah and I think that was Hannah, wasn't it? The two ladies that bought the Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So during this whole thing, my biggest thing was to go back and face my fear, which was to go back up into the kids' room
Mhm.
and stuff. And we went up there to do some Estes up there and investigate up there. And I went and laid back on the bed of my prior. I have not been at the house since that whole incident with the whole sleeping over thing. So we didn't get very much up there, did we? Did we do Estes
No.
up there?
Nope, we did not. You were so slap happy at that point. We were,
Oh, I
we
was being
kinda
sarcastic and everything. Yeah.
yeah.
But we did get the lights. We put the lights over the doll houses. The tripwire, we laid them on top of the doll houses and they went off a couple times.
Yeah. They went off a couple
Which
times,
there
and
was
then
no
we were
electricity
also
running through the.
yeah. And then we were also hearing, there's a what's it what, the puppet, the,
Oh, the marionette puppet.
marionette, yes. There's the marionette puppet that's in the case, and it has, like, real human hair, and I was laying on the I was laying on the floor, and you could hear it, like, it sounded like there was tapping from inside the glass, and me and Bella were sitting there, and I'm like, "Did you hear that?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "It sounds like the case." And then I think, I wanna say maybe 5 minutes goes by, and there was a couple other people that had heard it, and they're like, "What's that noise?" I'm like, "It's the case. It sounds like the case." So, that was pretty creepy.
Yep. And then from there, we went back down to the basement
We went
because
to the basement
Bella
before.
wanted to do Estes down in the basement. Yeah.
Yeah, we did the basement
And
before
Bella's
upstairs.
mom was like, Dan's got to go with you if you're going to the basement. I was like, okay. I was like, but that one was really good. That SS was also good in the basement because you did it, Bella did it, and someone else didn't they? Wasn't there 3? Or was it just you and
No,
Bella?
just us two.
Yeah, and we had started it. We put Bella in the normal room with the medical equipment, and we sit in the back room where Jack sits.
Uh-huh.
And we actually started talking to the. So when we were there prior, before it was me, Maddie, Doug, and Zach were in the basement. It was just the 4 of us there that night. We were sitting there talking on the spirit box and stuff, and we got some lady that had said that she was burnt down there, and her ashes were in the wall, and that she came there, not under her own pretenses or whatever, and something bad happened there and stuff like that. So, Maddie got kind of, I don't know, what would you say, feelings
Um,
of her, or
it was
just,
like I could feel her emotions and kind of like the pain she went through, or like the sadness she was feeling at that moment of like telling us her story. Um, I got very overwhelmed, and so I had to step outside.
yeah, we kind of left the basement. We didn't go back down after that either. We kind of just said, okay. And Maddie went outside and everything like that. So we'd really never gone back. We stayed the night, but we didn't go back in the basement and everything. And that was kind of like thing. So we went back down there, and we literally got that lady again. Like she said, burnt ashes, wall,
Mhm.
she was, in the wall again, and stuff. And it was really weird because I was like, man, that's the same lady we talked to last time, was getting the same kind of, and this time it was Estes. So it wasn't just a spirit box. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, we weren't here.
Yeah,
Someone else was telling us this that didn't know the story. So,
yeah.
uh, and at the one point, something got kind of, mean, or not mean, but just strong and stuff. And so I had to go stand by Madison because it said it was standing by Maddie and stuff. So I went and stood by Maddie, and then we were all
Oh,
everybody kind of
no.
came in that
Okay,
room.
okay. So
Wait a minute, wait a
let's
minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. So wait a minute, hold on. So everybody was in the other room when Madison went undressed this. So when she started saying things, and the spirit talker was saying stuff too, and they were kind of matching. So we got up because that mean saying or whatever, I wouldn't say mean, but was just not happy or whatever. We were down there. Um, Said something, and I got up, and I gonna protect my daughter, and I got up and I stood by her and everything, and I sat down next to her. Well, as soon as I sat down, everybody kind of came in the room and sat down next to me and surrounded Maddie and everything. So we were all from one room. We all moved into the room that Maddie was doing Estes at.
so
And then I'll let you finish the story with it.
so what happened was when I was doing S's, I had my blindfold on, I could feel like somebody was standing like in my personal space. So all I had said, and this is the only thing I remember, because again, when you're in S's, nothing's making sense. So the only thing that was making sense for me as a point is I go, whoever is standing in front of me and by me, you need to back up. Because it was like personal space. I was like, you just need to back up. I don't know who you are, but you just need to back up. Whether that be, I didn't know if that was somebody walking next to me, like for real, like a human person, or if it was a spirit. I didn't know. So I was like, just whoever it is just needs to back up. So I'm doing S's, I'm saying things. My dad taps my leg. I pull up my blindfold and I look around, and everyone is staring by me, standing and staring at me. And I'm going, oh, why is everyone in the room? Before I was the only one in the room. And so I was prepared, maybe my dad standing there because he tapped me, but I literally pull back the thing and everyone's staring at me. I'm going, yes, what
Just
happened?
like, what the hell? It's just like,
I'm like, well,
you're all in the other room. What the hell happened that y'all now in this room?
Then everyone
We all
told me, I
came
was like,
for your
"Oh."
support, Maddie.
I was like, "I did it." But that's the thing though. I had no idea what was going on. So it was like I was saying things that didn't make sense to me, but it made sense to them for them to have to come in the other room. All I remember is someone standing next to me and I just said, "You need to back up," and then pulling my blindfold up and everyone staring at me. I was like, "What the heck is going on, people?"
So we heard, and it was really weird too because when we were down there doing Estes, we had two. There was four other people in the building, so there was like six or eight of us downstairs.
Mhm.
So there was four other people. Well, then I saw two people come downstairs down the steps
Yeah.
because I was sitting right by the door, and then all of a sudden we heard this loud boom upstairs. Up, and we're like, oh, it must have been the other crew. And then we heard
Yeah.
a weird noise too, like a noise upstairs. And we were like, well, that must be the other group up there doing something. And then the two ladies that came downstairs that I saw come downstairs, they came into the room and they were with the other two people. So all four people, everybody was downstairs in the basement when that noise went off upstairs. That loud bang, and then like we heard up there. There was nobody up there. So
And I was in a, I was doing Estes, so I had no idea what was happening.
yeah, it sounded like a door, one of those sliding doors, because she
Mhm.
has those in the McInteer. If you've never been there, they have the hidden doors in the wall where you slide it and then it comes. You can push it into the wall and then pull it out.
Mhm.
So it sounded like that bang, like someone either opened it or closed it. Pushed it back into the wall,
Yeah.
and it made that the boom sound. So that was weird. Everybody else here, Bella probably can tell you, she heard it too. She was down in the room. We thought it was just another guest upstairs,
Yeah.
but they were all downstairs. So that was kind of weird. So I think we went and did from the living room, we went down and did the basement, and then we went up to the toy room.
Yeah.
Because when we came back from the kids' room, we were down. We were kind of down in the room packing up. It was getting kind of late. It was like 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Um,
And at
I
that point we
know
were kind of just packing up like our merch and everything.
merch and stuff like that, and then a couple of the stuff that we were using, nobody was using, but everybody was just kind of sitting down there talking. They weren't really going, but not Bella. Bella, Bella's a paranormal junkie, boy. She gets her whole time in.
Mhm.
She was like off. There goes
Brandy
her
was like
mom. Her mom's like, I'm off.
Brandy Brandy's like, "I'm tired. Let's go."
And Bella's like, no, I gotta go here and do this. So
Brandy's like, "If I
she's
don't
like,
grab
well,
her
we have
now, I'm
another
never
whole
grabbing
night.
her."
Yeah. She's like, we have another night. So they left, and then Monica
To the
left,
the
and then
creepy carriage house.
yeah, and then then another group left. And there was two groups there, and I was like, you guys can go back out. It's like 3:15. You got like 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And they were like, nah, I think we're gonna go too. I was like, just because we packed up don't mean that you can't go. So I think we were out of there by what, 3:20,
Yep.
which was nice because we were back in our bed, our B&B by 3:30 and
Yeah.
stuff. And get some sleep.
Mhm. We got some good sleep.
I don't know about you. I'm glad you got some good sleep.
Oh, I did. I
My bed
passed
was
out.
not comfortable for me.
I was okay.
Yeah, I
Back
heard you
up,
snoring.
back up until okay. Now you know how I feel every time I have to sleep with you and you're snoring. We're a snoring family. Everyone snores in our family. Back up to when we first got there and checked in. About 10 minutes of sitting in that bed, a spider came crawling across my phone, and I about screeched and peed my pants.
Daddy Longlegger come climbing on her phone, and she jumped out of the bed. It was so funny. Spider, Daddy Longleg. I was like, what? She's like, it was crawling on my face. I was like, what'd I do? Just grabbed it and crushed it with my hand.
You're like,
It's like,
did
it's
I
just a
kill
daddy
it? It's like
long leg.
between your fingers. Did I kill it? I'm like, yeah, you did. I'll go over there. And he's like, "You're in the middle of a farm. What do you expect?" I'm like, "A farm's not for me, apparently. A farm is not for
Daddy
me."
long legs. I used to be so. Here's a funny thing about that. I used to be so afraid of those
They're
because, like,
creepy.
when we spent the summers down in old mines, they would be like everywhere. Like, I mean, when they're like a massive family of them, they're just piled on like 50 of them piled on top of each other. And they got all the legs, so it looks like 1,000 freaking spiders. And then Phil would always pick them up and try to put them on me and stuff, and he'd put them on me while I was sleeping. And yeah, it was
Anybody is putting spiders on me while I'm sleeping, they're getting their world rocked.
yeah, that's the kind of stuff I went through as a kid. Yeah, I know.
Traumatizing. PTSD is what we call it.
Yeah, that's maybe my fear of spiders no longer a fear of spiders. So do you want to get into some more comments before we move to Saturday?
Yeah. Bella said, editing is going to take forever. It's a 40-minute long LOL. That's crazy because it does not feel like we were, well, I guess you guys were there longer than we were. But 40 minutes, it didn't feel like you guys had been there for 40 minutes. No.
She goes under there, boy. She's a trooper. She loves that Estes, boy.
Mm-hmm. Brandy's like, should I get her out? We're like, yeah.
She does, boy. She loves it.
Lauren said, I wish I got exciting stuff. Dog food because my dogs act like I never feed them. LOL. Sounds like our dog.
Of course not.
She acts like she never gets any attention. And Kathy said, was the tapping in the case a Conjuring moment? Nope, I don't know. Never seen the movie.
Yeah, it was like it was just like a
in the movie. It was like a tap.
Like it was trying to like get your attention in a way.
Yeah.
But the dial wasn't moving. It was like, weird. When we flashed the flashlight to it, it was there, but it could have been doing it.
So to be fair,
I was like, oh my God, they're gonna turn the flashlight.
No one realizes what that
the mannequin's like.
No one realized what that doll looked like until they're like, what is even the doll? And we all flashed our flashlight and everyone goes, ah.
It's got human hair. It's a marionette puppet hanging. And it looks more almost like Japanese. It don't even look like a normal, it looks like Japanese.
Yeah, I don't even know where she got
like real human hair as the hairs than real human hair. So
I wonder where she got it.
No one ever said it was haunted.
No.
But then she has another one that looks like it's sitting on the dresser.
Yeah.
She's got a lot more things.
Yeah.
That baby in the bed was giving me problems.
O2 paranormal or Q2. I'm blind. Q2 paranormal says, hey guys. Hello. Brandy said we should have done an extra investigation at the creepy carriage house. Also big carriage house, I must say. I didn't realize how big it was.
Well, I was gonna get into that on day 2.
Yeah, but
she didn't answer my phone when I was standing there saying, I'm looking at your house.
Heather said like a moving pile of dirt. That was while we were talking about the spiders.
Yes. Yeah, speaking of, Brandy and them were actually staying at the carriage house. Well, there's a house and a carriage house right across the street from Ruth Tootle Mansion.
Yes.
And it's called the Vineyard. And come to find out, she'd say, "Oh yeah, we're staying at this carriage house, and it's really creepy, and we think we've seen someone already." And stuff like that. And we're like, oh, okay. And then Susan, Jeannie, Cassie, and Eden came up Saturday for Glore. And they were staying in the house. So they were all staying in the same property. Brandy, Bella, and all of them, but they didn't realize they were all staying.
No.
So we went and had dinner, and then we had time to kill. So before that though, where did we go after we left our B&B?
Oh, we went
No,
to the Sally house.
yeah, we went by the Sally house. We
Yeah.
were we almost piggybacked off a couple that was already there. But when I
We
looked, there was no more times. They were sold out for Saturday and Sunday. So
yeah.
everything, I didn't realize you had to have a time slot. So you get an hour too. That's kind of cool. You get a whole hour to tour the place.
Mhm.
But I didn't know if she had cameras, and but we could have piggybacked off them without knowing, and didn't, so we didn't. But we just walked around. It looks like just a normal house.
Yeah.
It's in a
I
normal
took a pic.
neighborhood.
I took a picture. And my dad's like, "Do you want to go around the side?" I'm like, "Nah, it's just a house. It's okay."
Just a house.
But we can say we've seen the Sally house.
Yes, we have seen a Sally house.
I want to
But
go. I want to.
so after
I want to
dinner,
live.
we went back to.
I want to live at the house across the street. That was a pretty freaking cool house.
There's a lot of cool houses in Atchison, Kansas. There's a lot of beautiful houses. They're all kind of like the same whole Victorian style outside.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I want to say one thing, and I know she's probably not watching, but if you ever go to McInteer Villa, in the bedroom, she has a blue balls and penis REM pod. That was the most funniest thing in the world, sitting at the foot of the bed. Never seen one in my whole life. That was great. That was awesome. But anyway, Saturday was Glore. We went by Glore. We saw Jared just to say hi.
Mm-hmm.
Went to check out Ronaldo. Went and said hi to Ronaldo in the basement. Still has his sporting his Haunted Souls Paranormal shirt. It's so funny that it's been a year and they still haven't taken it off of him.
I know, right?
I know, it's funny. I don't think they'll ever take it off him.
No.
But we went up to check up the new wing because last time we were there, they didn't have it open. So we went up there and checked out the new wing of exhibits they had.
Really cool.
And they had like
Highly recommend.
anthropology. Can't think of the word. It just left my mind. Not astrology.
They had
when you dig bones up. What's the word for it?
I cannot remember.
But anthropology. They
had like a whole dinosaur section, fossils. They had like the seashell little exhibit, little cubicle thing. That was really cool. See all the seashells and all that.
They had a whole case of
uranium glass.
Uranium glass.
Yes.
Archaeology is what they have. Archaeology room. They have they have a whole thing full of cool looking. They have they're cross candlestick holders that are your uranium glass. They're really cool.
Has Jesus on it on the cross.
Yeah. And then when you get to the very end of the exhibit, they have like a Miss Pac-Man little tabletop game. And then they have a TV that has old like pole position and stuff on it. And then the room to the right is like 60s and 70s stuff. It's got old cameras and
like
stuff
more of like
a
technology. They have
the
old Samsung phones. With my mother's phone was in the case, and I had to FaceTime her and be like, "Look, Mom, your phone's in a museum." It was one of those old Samsungs that she's had forever.
They had the Razor phone in there. That was nice. They had the Nokia. If you all remember, that was like the first like handheld phone that they had. Was the Nokias.
A BlackBerry
and stuff. Pretty much, I had almost every phone that was there. I've had. It was kind of crazy to see that. This makes you feel old. But then the room across was a 1980s bedroom. And it was so like just throws back so many memories as a being a kid. That's kind of like what my bedroom was.
Oh, I loved it.
And poor Madison.
Oh, I always
if
say
anybody that's here remembers. Wait a minute. If anybody here remembers the 80s, hold on a second. Remember the 80s. So remember the couch potato pillows they had that looked like Spuds potatoes? They
Ew.
had one of those, and Madison thought it was the most grossest thing in the
I
world.
hated it.
But it had eyeballs on it. It was like the potato, and it was a couch potato pillow. That's what it was
Yeah.
for. It was a couch
I, s-
potato. And Madison was like, "Ew, it's so
I
disgusting."
sat I sat
Like,
down and then like when I was going to get up, I looked at the pillow. I go, ew, what the frick is this pillow? I was like, ew, it looks
yeah.
disgusting. It was all crazy looking.
But to the right of her, they had Walkman CD Discman players. And she's like, "Oh, these are cool." And it actually has a CD in it. You could play it, but there was no CD in it. She said there was, but we went back up there. There was no CD up in there
Yeah.
because I wanted to see what music we were going to listen to. But there was 2 remote controls laying on the table, and Maddie literally was picking up the remote control. And to the left of her, they had a desk, the old wooden desk. It had the cabinet, had the holes up at the top, your computer, and it had a little table pulled out and had the drawers. The old, wooden sticker. It was plywood or whatever with a wooden finish sticker over it. But it had the old computer, floppy disk computer there. And Madison had the remote control, like trying to turn it on, thinking it was a TV. I
I
said, "No,
not my
Madison, that's a computer."
not my brightest moment. He goes, the TV's to the right of you.
But you did get to see a TV though. That's a TV
With
that
the
you've never seen before, is
dials.
it? Yes, it was a
No,
TV with the dials on it.
I've never seen a TV with the dials. Now I've heard of stories of like when my mom, when she was little, like she always told me like your uncle used to call me down the stairs and act like he's hurt, and he's like turn the channel, and because you had to go up there physically and turn the channel with the dial. I've heard
Yeah,
of those stories, but
and that's what your parents did too. Because I remember getting called like, "Hey, Pa, come in here." I'm like, "What? Turn your channel." Really?
and then
We didn't
you were
have
like,
remote controls until cable came out.
yeah.
Once you had
Well,
cable, then everybody had remote
and then you were like,
controls.
do you even know what this is? And it was a VHS tape player. Yeah,
VHS
it was
tape deck. Yeah,
yeah. And I was like, yeah, I know what that is. My grandma used to have one in her house. And when I would go over there, that's where she used to play all of my Disney princess movies on. And it's so funny because in the case below it, it has all the VHS tapes, and it has all of the Disney princess, has Cinderella, Snow White, Bambi, all that. And I'm like, that's literally what I had when I was growing up, and it was my grandma's. But it was really cool. I liked that room a lot. I always say if I could be born in any other decade, it'd probably be the 80s because I like the 80s.
yeah. If you open the drawers in the desk, they had them like plexiglass, but they had them filled. Like the top one had like comic books in it. And then the second one had like jacks and baseball cards and stuff all in. And then the bottom scared the shit out of me. and then the bottom one had Teddy Ruxpin bear. That's the bear
Yeah.
that used to talk to you. And then they had Cabbage Patch Kids in there and other
Mhm.
trolls and
They had a TV
stuff
guide.
like that. Oh yeah, that was the other cool thing. They had TV guides in the one thing, so that was kind of cool
Yeah,
and stuff. I
it
was
was
like,
really cool.
"Madison, you know what this is?" And she's like, "No." I was
No,
like, "That was a TV guide."
I did know
That's
some
what
of
we
the
used
stuff
to
that was in
have
there
to watch
though.
to see was on TV for the month.
Yeah, you got to give me credit. I did know what some of the stuff in there was, probably more than other people my age.
Yeah. So, and then the guests, we went down and we left and had dinner, and then we went and hung out with Susan at her place, which Brandy and stuff were at. So I was trying to get Brandy to answer her phone because I was on the back porch looking at her carriage house. I wasn't
Gigantic
telling her.
carriage house. Holy
I'm
cow.
looking at your window.
He's
She
being a
never
creep.
answered the phone, so I couldn't scare her. Yeah. It was a random. That was weird. We walked into this big house, and it's like one of those big old houses, and they rent the rooms out. And there was just a random Snickers candy bar on the coffee table downstairs in the lobby. It was weird. That was weird, but it was kind of cool place. So they had like in their kitchen, they had eggs for them to cook in the morning and stuff. They had breakfast stuff for them and stuff. It was kind of cool. They had like pumpkin bread or banana bread and stuff down there for them.
Yeah. With
That's
all the
pretty cool.
creepy paintings that were in there.
Mirrors,
The
all the
mirrors,
religious
which,
mirrors and religious paintings was everywhere in this
which
house.
I had to teach Cassie what mirrors facing each other. So I was like, wow, they have a lot of mirrors facing each other. And Cassie and her daughter-in-law went into their room to take a nap. And I would say maybe about 20 minutes later, Cassie comes back and goes, okay, so tell me about these mirrors facing each other and what they mean. I'm like, I thought you were supposed to be taking a nap. She goes, yeah, and I was going to the bathroom and realized there's mirrors facing each other. So what does it mean?
On each side of her bed. Was it on each side of the bed facing each
No, it
other?
was in the bathroom.
Oh, I thought there were like two mirrors on each side of the bed.
No, they
That's
were
funny.
it was in the bathroom. But yeah, no, so we hung out in their creepy house that they had to stay
And then
in.
we had to take off. We went to get everything ready for the night at Glore.
Yeah.
We had 18 guests that night.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to get ready and stuff. So we got all set up and everything, got all of our guests in. We did a rotation. We split up rotations that time. Maddie went up to the torture room.
Yeah.
And then I went into the basement. I didn't have no luck in the basement, really. The flashlight came on one time. There wasn't much going on in the morgue down there and everything. So, I mean, I guess you had better luck upstairs.
Yeah, so I decided to take the Phasma box and do Estes because I feel like that's like one of the two things that people always like want to learn how to do, especially the first time, is that Phasma box, or how to start, doing Estes method or anything like that. And I decided to do it in the torture room. And the first group I had, we were getting some stuff, and then I decided to put somebody in the jail room and do Estes. And we were getting some good things, and they kept saying bathtub tub. Well, there's two gigantic. There's one that looks like a tub, like an actual tub, and then the other one looks like a little mini pool or like sauna thing. And so I was like, okay, which one? And Jeannie decides to start walking towards the tub, and the person in Estes goes, back up, too close. And I was like, and all of a sudden I look over and Jeannie's by the tub. I was like, it was really cool. We were starting to get responses like that. And then I put somebody new in the area, and we're like, all right, everyone, say your name. And we're going around, and Christopher, who was there, he was like, my name's Christopher. And the person in Estes goes, Chris. And we were all like, and they were like, what's up? So I was like, and then we had
What's up, bro?
and then we were getting responses like that, like they were pretty accurate. And then we switched, which you messed up. You didn't bring your walkie-talkie the first time. So I didn't know one time we had to switch. So we get downstairs, I bring the second group up, and they are immediately were like, started talking about war, and they were like Korea, and I didn't know, and they were telling me that you guys were kind of getting similar things about the war, and they were like, we were getting like bombs and airplanes, and there was a lot of sounds the second time. It was weird. I've never had somebody do Estes and get so many sounds. She was like, it sounds like a plane flying over. It sounds like this. It sounds they're making sounds. And I was like, I have never heard that many sounds come through. and we were just getting some really good Estes stuff. Um, we could not get a name, but it was very intelligent and a lot of war. And I was like, Bella and Brandy, who had been going through that, they had gone through the museum beforehand, before the investigation. I was like, is there like a war section around here? Because I couldn't remember, because it had been a year since we've gone through the whole museum. And they're like, yeah, no, there's like a whole section about the Korean War and all that. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that. And so we kept hearing things like down the hallway, and it was getting accurate. It was getting accurate, and it was getting creepy. um, so we were getting some activity up there, but
Well, I'm glad you got activity up there because we were getting nothing down there.
which is weird.
Ronaldo was
Which
being
is
very
so
quiet.
weird. Just so weird.
Yeah, we finally got the flashlight to come on at the one time. Everybody was like, "Yay!" It was like a big cheer because the flashlight finally came on. But yeah, we weren't getting a lot down there. Everybody got to sit in the chute. Some of the people went in there and everything, and
Yeah.
laid in there. And we're doing 2 at a time and stuff. So
Yeah.
it was pretty good. That was pretty cool. People get to you'd only get that on certain things, like you get to lay in the slab. And I never really read that, but that is an actual refrigerator that's working.
What?
That refrigerator, the body chute, the refrigerator, that's working. That is on. It's at 40 degrees.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it is working. And she says if you feel it, the sign says if you lay on it, you can feel it, the cold slab. It's cold. That it's 40 degrees down there. It's in that refrigerator, it's 40 degrees.
I feel bad because I was telling
that's right.
everybody, I was like, you were like, oh, we can put you in the slab. And I was like, no worries, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it
I'm a
don't
liar.
close. That one door doesn't close. It's gotta force it kind of closed, but
Yeah.
the other one goes in really good. So, but yeah, it was it stays 40 degrees. The refrigerator is working on that. Ain't that crazy? Didn't know
That's
that until I read
crazy.
that. But everybody got to go out in the free room. I think we sat and listened to Heidi's spirit gallery, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
She was talking to a couple of the people's loved ones and stuff like that, which you'll get if you go to Missouri State Penitentiary on September 21st. That will be a rotation. So you'll get a spirit gallery and stuff. So my dad didn't show up. Not this week. He must have been doing something
She said
else.
he was on a boat.
Oh, that's right. He was on a boat. That's right.
Yeah. I don't know when he was on the boat for, but he was on a boat.
I don't know what he was on a boat doing on a boat. I'm on a boat. Boats and hose and boats. No telling what he was doing.
But
we didn't do much investigation. We walked around to make sure everybody was having a good time.
Yeah.
And stuff. The one tunnel is closed off there now. You can only go down Painted Tunnel. The other one that goes to the school has been torn apart because the squatters have broken in and tore all the pipelines, the pipes and stuff out. So that our lovely 7 hallway has been shut down. I was really hoping to go back down there and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sub tunnel. It's in the maintenance room.
Yep. Which I never understand that. I mean, if you're gonna be, why destroy it? I don't understand that.
Because they're idiots. They're just trying to make money. So I mean, they broke out all the windows and everything. So I just don't understand that. Apparently, there's a lot of meth heads there.
Apparently,
but everybody was doing things. We went up to the second floor. They heard a lot of footsteps on that second wing. When we went back up there to look at the cassette player and stuff,
yeah,
or the CD player, they said they heard a lot of footsteps down there and everything. Do you want to hit some comments?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. I gotta find my spot. Where was that?
Dog food. Q2 paranormal.
See,
I
Lauren
think
said,
Bella
"I
was
gotta
last.
show." Um, she was not. Lauren said, "I gotta show you guys the new doll my cousin sent me. She has no eyes and human hair. Love her." Um, that's creepy as heck. Gina said, "We only had an hour in the Sally house, but we had such good activity while we were there." Yeah, we just stayed on the
Yeah, they
outside.
only give you an hour tour.
Yep. Um,
Yeah.
Tanya said you should go to the Sally house. Yeah, well,
We
maybe next
tried.
time.
I would have paid the $20 for us to go in because we'd have been the only ones in there. We had our equipment with us too, so that was really cool. We could have grabbed
Yeah, that
some
would have been
stuff.
really cool. Maybe if we're ever in Atchison again.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Next time we'll make sure that we pay for.
yeah, we'll make sure. Jesse said, haha, yes, the couch potatoes, those ugly things.
Those were couch potato pillows. Yes.
Brandy said, I feel like we had a great groups of people with great energy. Both nights had a blast. Yes. And
Well,
then she
thank you.
said,
I had a blast. You guys come in
creeper.
2 days. Creeper. Oh, because I was saying the windows.
Yeah.
I see you in the window.
Gina said, the only time I've ever truly been spooked and ready to go was at the tunnel. Was in the tunnel at Glore. Nothing was ever happening. It just felt off, and the entire time we were down there. Yeah, we didn't go to the tunnels either for the rest of the
Yeah, we
night
went
after
the
we did
one time
Glore.
just to show them where the tunnel was.
Yeah,
That
we
tunnel is
didn't go back.
always weird. That painted tunnel,
Mhm.
because when you start walking, it echoes off the back wall and comes up, so it sounds like there's somebody down there
Yeah,
walking back towards you. It always
yeah,
gets me too. I'm flashing the flashlight, thinking that somebody's walking up. Yeah, that tunnel plays some weird. That's a weird, tricky thing.
yeah. Brandy said, shoulders with PTSD getting music therapy. It was one of the displays. Yeah. So she was like, they mentioned this. I was like, that is, I had no idea. So that was crazy that we were starting to get in that stuff, and they had something in the museum to deal with PTSD for soldiers. Gina said, lying in that body cooler was oddly calming.
It is.
It was weird. Gina said, "Oh, that's sad. That was the tunnel that freaked me out." Yeah, that was a spooky tunnel.
Yeah, that's the one that went down and then it made a right and you could go all the way to the other end and it had a hole in the wall that you
Yep.
could look and see, to the other building.
Yeah. Sadie said, "Hi, Dan and Maddie. Hello, hello."
Hello, Sandy. I'll see you Thursday.
Yeah.
So
But
there was something else I was going to bring up too while we're there. Hold on, I was trying to think. Oh, the one lady that was on my first thing, I had to step out for a second, and I was like, "Do you need to go upstairs?" And she's like, "No." She's like, "But I just feel like I know what a lobotomy feels like." I'm like, "What?" Like, did you just get one in the room? I mean, what was going on? And she said, "I think I know what a lobotomy feels like." I'm like, "Well, I would think it's very painful that someone's driving a needle rod through your eyeball socket. I would think that's
yeah.
very painful." So, and they do have a lobotomy display up there too. It's really weird that the first lady ever to get a lobotomy there, they sent home with some Tylenol in a cab.
Yep.
They gave this lady a lobotomy and then sent her home.
Yep.
I'm like, that's crazy.
I've been seeing lately the
And it's
people
funny
that
too.
do get they lobotomized, and like their self before and their self after is like, it's like they can't, it's the weirdest, creepiest thing ever.
Well, yeah, they damage that frontal lobe and stuff of your brain and stuff. It's just really weird. The whole lobotomy thing is totally weird and stuff like that. But yeah, we had a good night. Everybody left. Me and
Before
Maddie, the lady, even
before
left.
before that, I had went downstairs with Bella, Brandy, and a couple other people. I went downstairs by the therapy room, and we were kind of just doing Destus down there. We were getting some really good stuff down there. So Bella, I know, was videotaping it, so hopefully um, that's also a video that comes out. But we kept seeing people or seeing somebody in the therapy room, and it was almost Jeannie, Susan, Cassie, and Cassie's sister and her daughter-in-law were down in the other room, and I thought they were still in the car room, and they weren't. And I was like, I could have sworn they were still in that car room. And one of the ladies next to me goes, "No, but there's somebody right there." And I was like, aha, funny joke. And I turned and looked down the hallway, and Jeannie is standing in the middle of the hallway. And she about scared the piss out of me. I was like, oh my God. I was like, all right, I'm done. I got scared. I'm good. I was like, I wasn't expecting it. I thought it was a joke. I didn't know she was joking like Jeannie was the spirit. I thought she was just joking like there was a spirit down there. So when I looked down there, I wasn't thinking I was going to see anything. And then I saw Jeannie, dark figure, standing in the middle of the hallway. I was like, God dang it, Jeannie. I was like, you scared me. Son of a bitch. I was like, man. I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm going upstairs.
Yeah, so we were leaving and Cammy was there and Cammy had left. And me and Madison were the only ones left. We were trying to drain the cooler out of water and ice and stuff in the cooler.
Yeah, there was nobody in the building. We were just outside in the parking lot.
Yeah, everything was clocked up. We was just me and Maddie out in the parking lot. And I was putting the cooler in the car. And then all of a sudden you heard this like real loud, like, I don't know. It wasn't like a grunt. It was kind of like a shout or a scream in a way, muffled. It was just like up in the building. And me and Maddie looked at each other and we were like,
I was like, all right, let's go.
I was like, what was that? And she's like, I don't know. Let's go. We jumped in the car
and started our drive home.
So something in the building yelled. Something in there yelled. I don't know what it was.
Let's go. I was like,
I was like, I'm out of here. That was so weird. It was such a weird sound too.
We both stopped.
I mean, it wasn't like a scream.
Looked over at the building and was like, all right, we're done.
Yeah.
Good night.
We're done. I was like, no more. There's something up there or something that's screaming now that we're gone and stuff. I was like, nope, we're gone. We're out of here. Let's go. In the car. We drove home. I was like, I'm out of here. Get out of St. Joe. Other than that, it was a good weekend. We had a lot of great guests. Hopefully we got some returning guests. There was a lot of new guests and some old guests that we've had and everything. So thanks to Stephanie at McInteer Villa for having us, and thanks to Jared and Cammy and Glore Psychiatric Music for having us and everything. It was great. Our next adventure will be in not this weekend, but the following weekend. We'll be at Randolph County Asylum in Winchester, Indiana. Next week's guest will be one of the guys from Randolph County. I don't know. She said she didn't know which one was going to be on, but we'll have one of the history guys or something like that. One of those guys will be on. He's talking about Randolph, and we'll get some history of it, maybe. Some little scary things that have happened there at Randolph, and stuff like that. I've never been there, so this is going to be a great place because some of the times when we haven't been at places, we actually go out and really do some investigating too while everybody else is out. I know we will be there earlier. We'll probably walk through during the day and get some B-roll. And stuff like that. So, and everything. So I don't know. We'll get to see it during the daytime. And then I know I've seen it at nighttime, except I've seen it on TikTok many a times, and it's creepy. So it's going to be a great place. So get your tickets. I know We got Gina and Susan and Cassie and Katie, Lauren and Brandon. We have Eric and Beth are coming. Uh, you know who they are, Maddie. Our normal. We see them at our festivals in Kimswick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be there. They're coming with Randolph. So right now, everybody that's there, it's coming. We know. So it's kind of cool. I know I've had a couple of people ask some questions about how many people are coming, what they can bring. So hopefully there's going to be some more people. Not a lot, but there's going to be some more. So, and then September 21st, that's going to be our big one. That's the big
Get your
boy.
tickets. Get your tickets.
Yeah, get your tickets. Get your tickets.
Get your
And if anybody
tickets.
hasn't seen, I know Haunted Garage has posted out some videos of our episode with them. And they have some TikTok videos too on TikTok. Go follow Haunted Garage. We will be doing something. Well, I don't know if Maddie will. I am doing something with them this weekend. We're actually going. They contacted me and was like, "Hey, get your stuff. We're going with us." Like, where am I going?
Where are you going?
We have a. Yeah, I'm like, what do you want me to do? She's like, we need you this weekend. I'm like, okay, what are we doing? And he's like, I thought we were gonna do another show, or I'm doing he's teaching me how to do their soundboards and stuff like that for their podcasts and stuff. So I was thinking that he was gonna need me for that. He's like, we have this location, huge location. No, it hasn't been investigated, and we're going in to investigate. I was like, oh, cool. All right. What time? He's like, meet me at 10 in the morning. He's like, yes.
Yeah, you said like 10 at night.
This is a little weird. We're going to be there at 11 o'clock during the daytime. That's going to be kind of weird, but hey, spirits are there, whether it's daytime or nighttime. It's just a little, people ask me all the time. They're like, why do you go at nighttime? Why not during the day? At nighttime, it's just a little bit more creepier when it's dark.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, if you got to think all the paranormal equipment that we use, it's technically it's glow things.
Lights up.
Things that light up.
Yeah.
So
yeah, during the day they're still there, but nighttime's a little bit more creepier. It just gives it a little bit more ambiance and stuff like that. So yeah, we're gonna go check this place out. I don't know what the deal of it is, so we'll see. And everything like that. So that could be a good thing coming up. I don't know what's all in store with that. I'll find out this weekend. We have some things talking with some stuff going on with them, so which is kind of nice. They got a lot of cool movie stuff, and they can, filming and stuff is really cool. So cross your fingers that we got some stuff going in the works with Haunted Garage and stuff. So if you haven't seen those videos, go check them out. They're pretty good.
They're Hollywood style. They're Hollywood style podcast.
Yeah, they got a lot better cameras than we do. But yeah, go check them out. Watch those videos. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we have September 21st. They'll be there September 21st. Actually, there's a group of them coming.
Yeah.
To investigate also. So it'll be kind of cool. And then we're knocking down the festivals on October. We're no longer going to Melbourne. We have canceled that event. We will not be doing Melbourne October 5th. So
yep.
We have a lot of our plate for the whole October. So, and then we're finishing up, we got Witches Night Out, which tickets go on sale August 31st. Kim's Witches Night Out, September 1st, August 31st. Get your tickets. They go on sale at midnight.
They go at midnight on August. So it's August 31st.
So September
midnight.
1st at 12. Yeah.
Yes. It's
technically September 1st.
Yes. I would set your alarms if you want to go because they sell out fast.
Yes. So we have Witches Night Out. We are going to go and support Witches on Wheels, which is the Friday night, October 11th. after we set up, we'll probably head on that way, and it's going to be a Witches Night vendor. I know Witches Familiars there vending. They have our name on there, but I can't do 2 tables with us doing Witches Night out. So I think we're going to still come down and support. Um, we might do a table. I don't know. We might do some like shirts or something like that, and business cards and stickers or something. You know what I'm saying? Just
I did
I don't
not know. I did not know about that.
Yeah. But Saturday night is Witches Night out in Kimswick. Following weekend is the KC Metaphysical Fair in Collinsville, Illinois. We will be speaking at that fair. I don't know what our topic will be, Maddie. What do you think our topic should be?
I have no idea. We'll have to think about that.
Well, yeah, we'll have to think about that one. I know we do like Ghost Hunting 101, but it's been a whole year of Ghost Hunting 101 now. So we've kind of made the whole routine of that for the whole year. I mean, we still could do that. I don't know.
We'll think about it.
Yeah, we'll think about it. And then Apple Butter Festival. Everybody come out to Kimswick then and see Apple Butter Festival. And then I just talked to Abby today. She's all excited. We have Monroe House, the Monroe Demon House. And
we did not give that name. That is what the name is already called.
Yeah, that's what they call it. That's what they call it, is the Monroe Demon House.
Yes.
I don't call it that. That's what the name of it is, Monroe House or whatever.
Yeah.
But we will be there 3 nights. Wow. That's going to be crazy.
Yep.
I can't wait to see how the last night acts with us being there 3 nights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And we sleep there.
So the first night is
right.
Do what?
Are we sleeping there? Are we?
No, we talked about that. No, we're going to get a B&B. We're not sleeping there. You know me, I don't do sleeping over there. No, we're doing Halloween night as a private, just a few friends and stuff.
I still think we should dress up.
Oh man, you just want to dress up because it's Halloween.
Yes, it's Halloween. We need to dress up. I think we should do Scooby-Doo characters.
Friday night we have tickets available. We're only selling 10 tickets since it is a house. Saturday night is sold out. That night is sold out already. So we have Friday night still available if you want to do something on the last. And then we have a couple episodes of our podcast, and then we're done for the year is coming in quick, Maddie.
Yeah. Everyone's saying dress up. I'm just saying. That's what the comments are saying.
I don't know.
I think we should.
It's either be Shaggy or Scooby.
I'm
I ain't no Fred. I'm
just saying. I think we should.
As no Fred.
I think it'd be fun. I'm gonna dress up, so y'all can join me or y'all cannot. I'm dressing up.
You can dress up for yourself.
Yes, everyone is saying dress up.
Well, yeah, it's easy to sit behind a keyboard and say dress up.
I'm dressing up. I don't know. You know what? Y'all can dress up, or y'all can just.
Maybe we should get there early enough and hand out. Oh, dude, we should hand out candy before we investigate. Would that not be creepy? People are like, "Oh yeah, we went to Monroe House and got candy."
We'll be investigating.
Not the whole night. We got all night to investigate. If we get there early enough, we can hand out candy out from 6 to 8.
To say? Well, let's just see where we're at.
It's in a neighborhood. It sits in a neighborhood.
I understand that, but you see how many times a neighborhood around here doesn't get barely any kids. We'll see. We'll just see about it.
How many times have you known that you give out candy at the Monroe House on Halloween? You can't say that.
I didn't say that. I said how many kids do they usually get?
Maybe I'll dress up if we hand out candy.
See, there you go. What do you mean party pooper? Because I won't give out candy. You're the party pooper because you don't want to dress up.
You're a fun sucker.
You are because you don't want to dress up. Don't show your age.
Anyway. Yeah, hopefully we have some good things. Hopefully we'll be doing some ghost hunts here at Nicole's building here at St. Louis Haunted Mansion. Things are getting put together nicely here. The whole bottom floor is almost empty. It's kind of weird to walk in every time. If you guys would like to help out and have an open house, you can come and check out the building. She is open this Saturday from 10 to 4, looking
But
for
that
help to do
yeah,
stuff here.
that means help, not just investigate.
Well, yeah, you can help a little bit, and
Yeah.
then she'll let you investigate for free and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you want to check out the building, come in, do a couple things and stuff, and help her work out, help you know get some stuff done here. I don't know if we'll be here. I don't know exactly what's going on exactly. Definitely with the haunted location I'm supposed to go at. So if I'm not going there, then I will be here this Saturday and stuff like that. So, any other comments there, Mo?
Everyone's just saying dress up. Gina said, yeah, our neighborhood hasn't really seen any kids in 10 years. We don't even bother giving candy. I mean, I would love to give candy. I just don't want to get all the candy and sit out there if they're not gonna come get
I
candy.
love getting out candy, and I would decorate my house. If anybody knows me, you know Halloween is my thing. And I get so upset because the last two houses that I've lived in, no kids come down our neighborhood. I moved into
To
this
be
cul-de-sac thinking, oh man, all these kids are living in this subdivision. No one comes down our street because it's
I
a
give I
cul-de-sac at the end.
but here's the thing too, like, cause I go out with my friends on Halloween normally, and, I used to I how you used to drive around after Halloween and you have to watch out where you're going because there's so many kids running around still? Even then, even going down the neighborhoods that other people's that I know a lot of kids live in, you don't see a lot of trick-or-treaters anymore. It's
It's
just not a
crazy.
big
Well, no,
thing.
they do a lot of these trunk or treats now. So
Yeah.
a lot of parents do these trunk or treats, and that's pretty much their Halloween. Which maybe
Yeah.
we tried to do one this year and it didn't get along. So maybe next year we'll do a big trunk or treat. We'll have like all the paranormal groups here in St. Louis and haunted locations donate, and we can have a big trunk or treat for kids
Yeah.
and stuff. It would be kind of cool, like St. Louis Haunted Mansion and Haunted Garage, and
Everyone has their own
which is
themed cars
familiar.
or yeah. Everyone
We
decorates their
all just
car
have
and the
one big
thing.
trunk or treat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Anything else, Mo?
No, just thank you for showing your support this week and the following weeks and the week to come. Thank you for everyone who showed out.
Make sure you watch tomorrow night. Make sure you pass it on. We will be giving a giveaway next week. Might be doing two. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Uh, and everything. But we'll have Randolph County. If any of our people, please share it so we can get some tickets sold and everything. And we'll be setting up the flyer and be passing it out because we will be giving some giveaways away next week, hopefully, and everything. But with that, Manny,
You heard it here, folks.
hey, stay weird, everybody.